There are a lot of things that happen only in Las Vegas, and one of those things is declining rental rates. All across the country, rents are jumping, except in Vegas. Welcome to Apartment Market Dynamics from MPF Research. I'm Jay Parsons with your Las Vegas update. Well, just last week we were in Las Vegas for the RealPage User Conference, and I'll tell you what, there were ginormous crowds on the Strip in Vegas, and judging from that, you would think that maybe Las Vegas is back on the mends. But believe it or not, the view from the Strip may be a little bit distorted, and the recent stats from the Las Vegas apartment market would certainly suggest so. Let's get right to it. Let's tear off the bad news like a Band-Aid. Rents are still falling. This is the only major market in the U.S. to post a drop in pricing during the year-end June 2011. Now let's take a look first at effective rent change by quarter, and you can see that same-store rental rates dropped on a quarterly basis in 10 of the past 11 quarters. Ouch. The depth of rent cuts is subsiding a bit, so that's good. Rents dropped only 0.4% in 2Q 2011, following declines of around 1% in the previous two quarters. And by comparison, rents were falling around 3% on a quarterly basis not too long ago. Year over year, same-store rental rates are down 2.1%, and of course, that is by far the worst performance in the country. And here's the really bad news. Since year-end 2007, same-store rental rates in Las Vegas are down nearly 17%. And there is just nowhere else that's even comparable to that number. And looking at Las Vegas' submarkets and product age groups, there really weren't any exceptions to the rule. The results are pretty weak everywhere. In fact, you were winning if your rents just held steady. The best performance in Las Vegas was in Southwest Las Vegas, where effective rents climbed, if you call it a climb, 0.1% year over year. And in the next best was Henderson Green Valley, where same-store rental rates fell 0.5%. And it's no coincidence that these two top the list for rent change. These are Vegas's top two submarkets in terms of product desirability and also for occupancy. Occupancy in both spots tops 93%, and that's a good 2 points or so above everywhere else in the metro. So with prices down so much everywhere in Vegas over the past few years, people who've kept their jobs or have gotten a job recently have been able to afford the most desirable areas in Vegas. So that's why these two submarkets have done pretty well. And that's a trend we've seen all across the country. It's just that in Las Vegas, they're well behind the average pace. On the flip side, the areas still struggling the most, not coincidentally, are the most affordable areas. Same-store rental rates are down 4.8% year over year in North Las Vegas, Sunrise Manor, and they're down 3.3% annually in Central Las Vegas. These two submarkets are already the most affordable in terms of average monthly rents in the metro, and it appears that further rent cuts have helped very little when demand for apartments in those areas is so weak. All right, so we've torn the Band-Aid off. Let's give you some decent news, and that is occupancy growth. Las Vegas posted some decent occupancy improvement in 2Q, enough to make up for the big drop seen in 4Q 2010, but not nearly enough to put a dent in the losses from 2008 and 2009. Overall occupancy at the midpoint 2011 is at 90.6%. That is up 0.7 points for the quarter, but only about equal with the rate seen in September 2010. By comparison, occupancy in Vegas had topped 96% as recently as fall 2007 before plummeting nearly 7 points over the next 6 quarters. So we are still waiting on meaningful occupancy growth in Las Vegas. We should see a moderate dose of improvement in the coming year, but probably won't see occupancy get much above 92% or so. And that means we probably won't see much rent growth either. But even very minimal rent growth in Vegas would be good news, since it would mean that rents are no longer falling. And that wraps us up for Las Vegas. So until next time, for Apartment Market Dynamics and MPF Research, I'm Jay Parsons. Thank you for watching.
Want more? Go deeper with MPF Research's apartment market reports. From a national level, down to individual metros, to specific neighborhoods, MPF Research has been providing unparalleled apartment market intelligence to the multifamily industry for almost 5 decades. Learn more by contacting us at 877-284-4938 or visit www.npfresearch.com and click on Market Reports.